everyone. I hope you all are doing well today. I am. I'm gonna just. I kind of wanted to just do a live stream and talk to you guys a little bit about the big news. Well, I don't know if it's big news. It's more of a hint of future news. And Asmodee is getting ready to sell. Again, they're owned by a company named PAI, and they're looking to sell their company once again. And this is not the first time that Asmodee will have changed hands. This will actually be the third time. But I think this is a significant particular sale, and I want to talk a little bit about why and what this might mean for gaming. So what's going on, everybody? If you guys are new here, if you haven't already seen the big news, Asmodee is getting ready to, they're trying to sell they're trying to sell the company. And this isn't necessarily okay. So I want to, like, you may see headlines floating around or whatever. So I want to talk about what this means, what it actually could mean, and it's not like a sky is falling thing. It actually can be a good thing. If you guys are new here, be sure to enter to win the $25 Amazon gift card giveaway. You just have to be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my videos. Although this is a live stream, most of my videos are regular uploads. Well, now that I got that stuff out of the way. Here's what this means. Basically, it's not the Asmodee people specifically, but it's the investment firm that owns Asmodee is looking to sell Asmodee. So think of it as if you were renting an apartment and your landlord wanted to sell the property to a different landlord, and then that new landlord might come in and then you know they're not going to kick you out. Well, at least you hope they're not. That's kind of what's happening right now. We got a lot of people in chat right now. What's going on, everybody? I decided I'd just do a live stream rather than try and record this because this is like, who knows, by the time I sit down to actually record and upload a video, there may be new information. So as of right now, there is not a buyer yet. So the news is that Asmodee, and this got kind of leaked out of Europe, is owned by a holdings company called PAI. They're basically an investment firm. Let's go in together and buy. Yes, Chris is right. We need to do it. Like, maybe we'll do a Kickstarter and try to raise 2 billion euros to buy Asmodee, and then we can actually run it like a gaming company, right? You had me at maple syrup. What is going on, everybody? Asmodee is a company I am unfamiliar with. What do they market? They are the biggest board game company on the planet. The tabletop gaming company on the planet. They own Fantasy Flight games. They own Atomic Mass games. They own or are in partnering with every single game I think I have ever covered on this channel, with a few notable exceptions, right? Like maybe Drop Fleet Commander. I don't think they own Drop Fleet Commander yet. But yeah, so Asmodee is pretty much the giant thing. So here's what's going on. They're trying to sell. They reached out to Goldman Sachs to help them sell. I guess they're basically looking to have Goldman Sachs kind of be a financier because maybe not that many people who would buy them have $2 billion cash, or I'm sorry, 2 billion euros. So more than $2 billion. So they're looking to make all that. Gosh, I wish I had that kind of credit, right? I wish I had a line of credit that high so I could just be like, I'll take Asmodee. And then instantly I'd be like, you know what? I'm not worried about a profit. Let's just work to pay off the loan. Just keep profits normal. But let's get Armada back on the radar, right? That's what I would do. But yeah, no. So that's really interesting because that's what I think a lot of people are wondering about right now is if if they do find a buyer, what kind of buyer will it be? Now, some people might be surprised that they're trying to sell Asmodee, that PAI, they're a French company. So that's why a lot of the news that's centered around this that you might see today is in French or in other languages. Asmodee was basically bought a couple of years ago by PAI. Now they had sold already to another company that got them kind of cheap while things were still good. The economy was still booming, and gaming was still growing. X-Wing was still kind of new. You know, and so you had Armada and Legion and all these other games come out, and like FFG was doing good. Asmodee was it was just growing, and they were like really going upward. PAI then bought Asmodee, and that's when kind of things plateaued. and PAI is the company that has kind of told Asmodee, to do round after round after round of layoffs, 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 layoffs. So I believe personally that if PAI is looking to get rid of Asmodee, that is really good news, because they seem like a complete terrible, terrible company that is basically just destroying people's livelihoods, destroying the work that people have worked on these games. Like people who have been with a company for 10 years or so, just getting laid off without any consideration or any notice at all. It's just not. It's just terrible. It's all just to trim the fat to make their company that they want to resell a little more profitable. These are people who are already millionaires, multimillionaires that just want one more million. So they'll step on as many people as they have to along the way. And so I don't really care for people like that. Anyway, so I'm pretty kind of happy that they're like trying. Now, the problem is that this could go one of two different ways. This could go worse, right? They might sell it to some other company that's even worse, and then wants to trim the fat even more, and then cuts out every game and just say, you know what? The one thing that's most reliable, making good old-fashioned Monopoly. So we're going to cancel every game, and all these companies are just going to make different versions of Monopoly. And then boom. And then that's all you see, right? Obviously not Monopoly specifically, because that is, I think, a Hasbro product, but maybe like Catan or certain things that are like more well known, or Ticket to Ride. I don't think Asmodee, does Asmodee have Days of Wonder still? I don't know if they still have Days of Wonder, but yeah, like new Ticket to Rides and new, just new versions of the same thing, right? And so like that could be a thing that ends up happening. But I think more realistically, if somebody's going to spend that much money, I don't know if they're even going to find a buyer, and if they do, they'll probably try to compete a little bit and be like, all right, we'll give you this much. Hopefully they find a buyer who is more interested in making games rather than just trimming even more fat. There's no fat to trim. They've already trimmed all the fat, right? They've already laid off all the best game developers. So what are you going to do? Like, how can you possibly trim any more fat? So what could happen from all of this? Well, that's really the big question. If they do find a buyer, maybe they'll be an American buyer. Maybe it'll be an American company. Because I don't know if partnering with Goldman Sachs was meant to kind of appeal to an audience farther outside of Europe. They did list that they wanted to sell it for 2 billion euros, which would get them quite a profit. And one of the problems that I've heard is that this particular company, they were in over their heads. They've had kind of buyer's remorse from buying Asmodee in the first place. So I don't know if they're going to quite get $2 billion for a company that they've already fired all the best game developers from. And I don't want to throw shade on some of the game developers that are still there. There are still great game developers there, but they fired a lot of my favorites. So let me clarify. They fired my favorite game developers, or laid them off, which is just a fancy way of saying fired. So what happens? If another company picks up and buys, well, a lot of good things potentially can happen. First off, if they're interested in making games, then or more interested in making games than just making profit, well, that would be fantastic. One of the reasons that like Armada was put on hold and was kind of slow rolled for a while, and one of the reasons that a lot of the games that used to have much faster, like X-Wing even used to have much faster content coming out, and now it's kind of slowed in favor of games like Legion and Marvel Crisis Protocol. And no slight against those games; those are great games too. But while X-Wing and Armada were always made a profit because of them being pre-painted and all of this other stuff, they weren't quite as profitable as your games that just come on a frame, right? Because there's a whole lot less costs associated with that. So hopefully if you have a company that's more interested in making games rather than just making a profit, they can kind of let the lifeblood flow more into those games. And, because, hey, you're still making a profit, but maybe just not as much, but you're putting out more games, right? So that's kind of like the hope. The big takeaway is that perhaps there will be a little bit of good news that comes out of this. then again, there's always the chance that somebody like Christian Peterson could kind of get back into everything too. Whether he partners with somebody else. I mean, he's got a company that is potentially in a position to maybe do that. I don't know if they have the capital available to kind of get into a 2 billion euro purchase, or if he could potentially just partner with somebody else. But yeah, so that's pretty interesting. Let me check out some of the comments here. I don't know much about Tencent, so I can't really comment on them. Let's see. Do you suspect that the recent price hikes are in part driven by this? But the reason of shipping and manufacturing has been. Oh yeah, no. I think the price hikes is definitely. This has been something that they've been planning for a long time. They've been trying to do this for ever since they bought the company, and then the value started to go down. And I think they just basically mismanaged everything, and letting people go, letting some of your best people go, having so many failures. But yeah, Tencent is awful. Oh, I'll take your word for that. I'm not really too familiar with them, but yeah. So they've definitely been planning to do this for a long time, and anybody who is interested in buying, of course, you're probably not watching this stream. If you're interested in buying, they've already trimmed all the fat, so you're not going to be able to come in there and like resell. So if you're looking to like for an investment property, this is not it. This is already, it's at its peak. It's only going down, right? So if you're looking to buy a game company and then focus on actually making games and making the world a better place, this is the place for you. Focus on making games. You'll still make a profit. Board gamers are here. People like me are giving you free advertising. So it's definitely a thing. It's always going to be a thing. So that's my hope, is that somebody picks up Asmodee, and if they don't sell, I think that's another interesting point to talk about too. Who would be the best company to buy up the Star Wars games? Well, honestly, it's probably going to be some company that is not a household name. A lot of these like capital investment companies are, just like nonsense names. Like they're not real companies. They're just people trying to, to me, a real company is somebody who makes something, somebody who produces something, somebody who contributes to society. But a lot of these companies are just people who have a lot of money and use that money to keep to keep everybody else down. They make money by having money. That's unethical. It's just, it's the way the world works, but it just doesn't seem like it contributes. It doesn't seem like it's good for humanity. Hence, but. It's companies like that. They don't add value to the world. They only add value to themselves. So that's unfortunately the way. So hopefully somebody who picks this up is somebody who's interested in. Of course, they're going to be somebody who wants to add value to themselves, but hopefully they're also interested in adding value to the world. Because hey, man, a gaming company is a great company to buy to add value to the world, especially a tabletop gaming company, because you're producing tangible goods that people are going to have. You think they trimmed some muscle as well? I absolutely agree. Very, very good analogy. But yeah, so we're gonna see what happens. I'm not gonna keep this stream too long. I did just kind of want to talk a little bit about what this might mean. If you guys are watching, let me know some of your thoughts, some of your concerns. I know a lot of you guys have already been doing that already. Also, if you guys are not already subscribed or are not already members of our Discord, definitely check out the links in the description below. With Amazon being tight-knit and Asmodee, wonder if they are considering a purchase. That could definitely work, because Amazon could also handle all of the shipping, and that would I think that would be a really good fit. Amazon already sells a lot of Asmodee titles. They have a lot of AMG, FFG, gosh, all of these companies, and there's a lot of Z-Man, Days of Wonder. Libelud. I'm just looking at some of the games that I have on my shelf here. All the different games that Asmodee is in partnership with. They're all of them all sell on Amazon. So I think Amazon's a great potential. But who knows? I mean, and that could work out really well for Amazon too, because these are games. This isn't a gaming company that's not video games. So you actually have to deal with shipping and stuff too. So now you can be both the manufacturer, like the producer, and the deliverer. Wouldn't that be cool? Another thing that might happen is that maybe they don't find a buyer, and what if they break apart these smaller gaming companies into, and sell them off piece by piece? That would be interesting to me, because like, what would happen if FFG got separated from Atomic Mass Games, since almost all of the information is on FFG's website? What if they just took it all down, right? So like, that's an interesting thing to me as well, because I wonder how FFG and AMG would work if they were broken apart. So if you guys are just tuning in, basically, PAI is a investment company that owns Asmodee. They bought Asmodee a couple of years ago, and they've been trying to resell it ever since. They've been trying to sell it kind of for a profit ever since. Well, they finally announced today the price, and they partnered with Goldman Sachs to try to secure like funding and kind of facilitate the sale of Asmodee. Not just Asmodee North America, but Asmodee worldwide. So they're trying to sell this global company for 2 billion euros. And this wouldn't be the first time big companies have sold. It wouldn't be the first time, or even the second time, that Asmodee has sold. So it's not like it would be anything new, but it is interesting, because it would net them like a $750 million profit or something along those lines. It'd be a pretty significant profit if they could sell it for that much. I don't think they will, but that's all that they've been trying to do. It's pretty sad that like they laid off all these people, and they ended all of these people's jobs and their livelihoods and their careers so that they could make a couple of $1 million. Like, I guess money will do that to you, but I mean, how many people are there? Like, these people were already millionaires anyway, right? So you think about that, and that's why they have these companies that buy this stuff, because nobody's going to remember, 10 years from now, nobody's going to remember who PAI was. This is some generic nonsense name, right? But Asmodee and like all the game companies that are making these games, those are the names that have to mean something to people. But I could make something called like Investment Holdings Group and Incorporated, and that's just the name. Like, that should be my new Kickstarter, right? Can we raise 2 billion euros and buy Asmodee and focus on making games rather than focus on ruining people's lives so that we can make an extra $1 million, just one more on top of our $100 million. I need $101 million, so I need to end some people's careers in order to get that. Like, anyway. It's frustrating, because like, all these people working on all these games, they just want to make games, right? They want to make games. They want to also survive. They want to be able to, get paid. They want to be able to put food on the table. So they want to be able to continue to make games and continue to, and have some stability without the fear of randomly one day being called into work and just be like, oh, well, you know what? Everybody in this room, you're all getting laid off, and nothing we can do about it. I should start a Kickstarter to buy it all. Yeah, that'd be pretty awesome. That would be pretty awesome. I don't know. I don't think I could raise that much on Kickstarter. I think I'd probably get like a couple of thousand, but I'd fall just a little bit short of 2 billion. I don't think that's gonna happen. What, the highest Kickstarter ever was like close to 10 million, right? I think that's the most that they've ever raised on a single Kickstarter. Yeah. Would it be crazy to pull a Bane and just give it back to you, all the people? Yeah. Asking rich people to part with their money is absolutely crazy. There's no way they'll do that. That's definitely not going to happen. But yeah, let's see. If they broke up the companies, it'd be easier for smaller companies to buy them, or investments. Yeah, no, I agree. If they broke up the smaller companies, it would be easier. There'd be certain things that they might lose. It depends on how partnerships and stuff, like Frosthaven was 13 million. That is okay. But it used to be like Kingdom Death, and then some of the Simon ones were approaching there, and some of the Awaken Realms ones did pretty good too. But yeah, Frosthaven I think was nice, good memory. Yeah, no, I'm curious, like what getting broken up would do, if we were to, see all these companies go their separate ways and get broken off. It'd be interesting to see if FFG and AMG were split into two different, ownerships. That would be interesting. It'd also be interesting to see how their supply and logistics chains would work out, not having that Asmodee infrastructure. So you'd probably have to kind of, separate them with some type of agreement, a memorandum for agreement or something like that, that kind of allows them still to use some of that infrastructure. That'd be a good thing to kind of include with all of that. So I don't know. It's going to be really interesting, but I just wanted to do a live stream for now because I'm sure we'll probably get more stuff soon. I wonder if Peterson could legit buy Asmodee, or if they just sold FFG by itself. Yeah, I would love to see Christian Peterson do that. The other thing is, if they broke apart all of these different game companies, what would happen to the licenses? What would happen to the licenses? Because all those licenses are now currently held by Asmodee. All right, all those licensing agreements are held by Asmodee. So from a certain point of view, right, if you broke off FFG and sold it, it would no longer be able to make Lord of the Rings. It would no longer be able to make Star Wars games. It would no longer be able to make Game of Thrones games. It would no longer be able to, technically, it'd no longer be able to make Keyforge or Twilight Imperium stuff too, because I believe all of the licenses are held by Asmodee. So you'd have to at least give them like Twilight Imperium and Keyforge and stuff like that, and Terranoth also. So you'd really have to, licensing would be a nightmare, especially when you have other companies kind of, when you have certain licenses that are spread across multiple companies. Marvel, for example, you have FFG making Marvel Legends, and then you also have AMG making Marvel Crisis Protocol. And then you've got studios all over the place making other Marvel games. So yeah, it's very interesting. And so I wonder what the relationship with CMON is going to be with all of this stuff too, because there was just some interesting kind of talk of like Asmodee and CMON have been growing closer and closer and closer together, and I wouldn't be surprised if something crazy happens soon, but I don't know. So question, does Asmodee own Atomic Mass Games? I think you're asking me, does Asmodee own Atomic Mass Games? Yes, they're the parent company, and they own almost every gaming company. Almost every. They own FFG, Atomic Mass Games, Z-Man Games, Days of Wonder, Libelud. It used to be Plaid Hat Games. Plaid Hat's one of the few that bought themselves back. Let me see who else. I'm just looking at some of the games that I've got here on my shelf. They don't own CMON right now, but they do have a partnership with CMON. They have a partnership with Awaken Realms. I don't think they don't own Mythic, so there's that. But yeah, but most of these games actually a lot of these games behind me are private. Street Fighter, no, that's Jasco. Nemesis is Awaken Realms. Marvel United is CMON. Marvel Crisis Protocol, that one AMG. Rebellion, that's FFG. Twilight Imperium, FFG. Gale Force 9, they're their own thing. I got Star Trek Ascendancy down there. Yeah. Oh, they also own Catan Studios. Don't forget, I got Star Trek Catan down here. And we've got Seven Wonders, which that one is also owned by Asmodee. There's a lot of Asmodee's got their hands in, I'd say, more than half of all the games on the planet right now. They're spread out all over the place. So this is a big deal for all of gaming. It really is. It's a very, very big deal for all of gaming. And it could end up really, really, really good if whoever buys it. Any word on what Alex Davey is working on? He landed over at WizKids, as a matter of fact. I don't know what he's working on specifically, but he is over at WizKids. So be on the lookout. Be on the lookout. Hopefully Star Wars Legion keeps going as long as 40K. I think that's probably a given. Why did Christian Peterson sell FFG a few years back? Probably the reason a lot of us do. I mean, if you had the opportunity to make $1 million or more, or I don't know how much it was. I mean, wouldn't you? I mean, then of course there's sometimes regret that comes with that. But I don't know. I think he probably regrets it, at least regrets certain aspects of it. But yeah. All right. Well, we need. Come on, Alex. We need Star Trek Armada. Yeah. That would be great, right? That would be great. In the meantime, we still have Star Wars Armada. Armada is still going strong. I'm putting together some cool new list ideas right now. As a matter of fact, I have a really fun one. I have a fun one that I think is going to be a good revisit and doing some classic stuff. I do a fun Imperial build using Vader as commander, which I almost never ever want to do right now, but we're going to try it. We're going to try it. Yeah, and and then the other new hotness is Drop Fleet Commander. This one. This is what happens though when a smaller game ends up being successful and they don't have the huge backing of somebody like Asmodee. Like they sell out really quick. Like Drop Fleet Commander is a super cool game, and it's like harder and harder to get stuff right now. So keep your eyes peeled for restocks of that. But I have more. I have another. I'm actually my next Drop Fleet Commander I think is going to go live tomorrow. That one's going to be a twofer. We're going to be looking at 2 more factions for Drop Fleet Commander. So definitely check that out, and hopefully we'll get some more games in soon, and I'll be working on a learn to play for that as well. It's a super fun game, and I've been really enjoying painting the ships. Oh, they're so much fun. They're so much fun. If you guys haven't already, make sure you check out some of the links in the description below. I just posted a new TikTok yesterday, so that one's actually doing really well. So I'm having some fun. That was a Star Wars Legion-based TikTok. But yeah, check me out on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I try to post different stuff in all of those, and I'd love to have you in Discord as well. I think that's going to do it for today. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, big thanks to my patrons. You guys are amazing. Make sure, if you ever join the Mandalorians, don't take your helmet off, because you can never put it back on. That's really because they shrink. It's once you get it off, your head's swollen from it. That's